What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome back to another episode of New Era Prep Nightly here on the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. I'm your host. If you don't know me or love me, you'll love me by the end of this episode. Christian Proscia. I'm joined here with my producer Stephen Luker, as always, laying down the sick beats. As you can tell, I'm not in Wellington. I'm not in Boca. I'm actually in Stewart right now. At my other set of grandparents, following a nice little drive from my road trip to Tampa this weekend to watch the Canes manhandle the USF Bulls. More of that will come in after the break. We're gonna spend some time talking about some Canes athletics today because right now Miami's a hot topic. So I really want to dive into that. It's my show. I can do what I want, right, Steven? I run this thing quite literally. But before we do that, as always, we got to stay true to our roots here on the high school scene. With We're going to talk about some of the local final scores from the Quad County area, from the Treasure Coast, where I'm actually in right now, the 772 areas, all the way down to the 305, 954, and Palm Beach County, as always. Before we get started, I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. I know a lot of people have some things going on Monday night. I may or may not be peaking watching Monday Night Football as we're going on, but guess what? We're still going to talk ball as always. So, without further ado, let's start with the Palm Beach County final scores of the week, where on Thursday night, Benjamin defeated Jensen Beach 21-14. Third consecutive year of Jensen Beach coming into Palm Beach Gardens against Benjamin red hot on an undefeated tear. And third straight year of Benjamin ending their undefeated season. In the words of my good friend Ryan Smith, quote, Benjamin owns Jensen. So might have to get my good friend Mike Fabian onto the show to really talk about that in the next few days. But Benjamin with a big win over Jensen Beach, taking things out. Still in Palm Beach Gardens area, Glade Central defeated Dwyer 33-7. Big win for the guys out in the muck, as always. St. John Paul defeated Somerset Prep 28-22. Berean Christian defeated Marco Island Academy 20-8. And LaBelle, not Angelina LaBelle, that works with me, just LaBelle High, defeated Glades Day 23-0. On Friday night, Cardinal Newman defeated Clewiston 48-0. Big performances from the guys out at Newman, as always. Jalen Brown, Zanai Smith getting in the box on multiple rushing touchdowns. Jaron Hewley throwing for multiple passing touchdowns. Zamari Sanders catching a touchdown. For those that don't know, Zamari Sanders is the fastest man in South Florida, so great to see him continue to get involved. Was dealing with a little bit of transfer issues from Heritage. Not really sure, so I'm not going to touch on that too much. And then I know he also had a little bit of a hamstring issue, but the speedy wideout is back, and he's already making some impact for the Newman Crusaders. Taking things out to Orlando, where Atlantic High played the First Academy. Unfortunately, Atlantic, top team in Palm Beach, fell just short to First Academy, losing 41-28. Supposedly a great game all around, but First Academy was able to get it done. They moved to 5-0. Atlantic now moves to 4-1. Still a great season for Atlantic. They're going into a bye week, so really interested to see what's about to happen coming out of this bye. This was a late addition to the schedule for Atlantic. Atlantic almost had a double bye in weeks 5 and week 6, so it was good to see that Atlantic got a game. And guess what? First Academy is no slouch, so shout out to the boys at Atlantic. Then we're going to talk about a game that I was at, West Boca versus Treasure Coast. West Boca defeated Treasure Coast 48-0. All-around dominant effort from West Boca. Big performances from both quarterbacks, Mason Mallory and Trey Moran. Trey Moran, on his 16th birthday, was moving around, really getting to drive the Ferrari that is the West Boca offense. Javian Mallory opened up the night with a 2-yard rushing touchdown. Mark Hannaford, 2 receiving touchdowns on the day. Damon Allen, for all of the FAU fans, forced a fumble in the end zone, which got recovered by his defense for another scoop and score. Damon was quite a happy camper after that play, as one would imagine. But all in all, big win for West Boca moving into Week 6, now taking the spot as the number 1 squad in Palm Beach County. Santa Lucia's defeated Seminole Ridge 49-21. Coming into this game, it came out that Santa Lucia's was the underdog in this game. Not really sure where that was coming from, but that was a narrative coming into this game. I like the humble mindset, but 49-21 victory over Seminole Ridge. Big performances from Izzy Marion with 2 receiving touchdowns on the day, as well as Jamar Browder with a catch that is now going viral on Max Preps and ESPN on all their social medias. Shout out to one of Jamar's friends for getting said video on film, and shout out to his friend for blessing us and sharing the footage. Thank you, because you helped really start the trend for everybody that does have fans or friends that are in the stands or on the field. If y'all get a good clip, make sure you send it over to New Era. Keep doing what y'all are doing, because we appreciate any and all content submissions as always. Spanish River defeated Wellington 51-15 in the New Era Prep Game of the Week. Blake Wallace, 3 touchdowns on the day. Another day in the office for Blake Wallace, the only guy on the planet I will ever say has better hair than me. Bro looks like he's straight out of a Head & Shoulders commercial. Royal Palm Beach defeated Forest Hill 38-16. Garcia High defeated Olympic Heights 41-0. I want to talk about this game a little more, not so much for the content of the game, but I do want to speak about one player in specific. At halftime of this game, Garcia High hosted a Best Buddies Appreciation Day. For those that don't know what it is, Best Buddies is a nationwide club that promotes acceptance and fellowship among the special needs community. And Garcia High quarterback Caleb Butler has been an advocate for the Best Buddies Club for years now, starting in elementary school and taking it throughout middle school and every school that he's been at in high school. And Butler is now the president of the Garcia High Best Buddies Club. And during the game on Friday night, Butler walked out multiple special abilities children and just continued to show love to those that deserve love. So I do want to go on air and once again, like, Caleb, you're doing amazing things both on the field and off the field. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're showing love to everybody. Everybody deserves love, and you're a testament of just acceptance. So keep doing what you're doing. Park Vista defeated Boynton High 14-12. Big win for Park Vista late in the game. St. Andrews defeated North Broward Prep 24-8. Jupiter Christian defeated Boca Christian 50-7. Fort Pierce Central defeated Inlet Grove 34-6. Suncoast defeated John I. Leonard 23-14. And then finally, the last game of the week, Pahokee and Palm Beach Gardens got postponed to tonight. As of right now, I do not have a score on that game because I believe that game is obviously still going on. So, and unfortunately, people don't like to update their max preps in live timing. So as of right now, do not have a score update on Pahokee Gardens. Once again, bye weeks for last week included Palm Beach Central, Kings Academy, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Lakes, Boca High, and Jupiter High. Kicking things to where I'm at right now, the 7-7-2. Heritage versus Vero. Vero Beach defeated Heritage 10-7. Another win for the Vero Beach Fighting Indian. Tradition Prep versus John Carroll. John Carroll ran away with this one, 60-20 victory over Tradition Prep. Centennial versus Bayside. Bayside defeated Centennial 13-0. And then because there's more 7-7-2 teams once again. Fort Pierce Central defeated Inlet Grove 34-6. And West Boca defeated Treasure Coast 48-0. Bye weeks for the 7-7-2 included Westwood, Port St. Lucie, and Okeechobee. Taking things down to the 954 and the 305, we had some juicy games this weekend, Steven. First off, multiple games that were hosted on Thursday night have been postponed and or canceled. So a lot of the top games that I thought were going to be real moneymakers have not happened yet. So stay tuned for those games. One of those games was Columbus. Columbus had a big game. Game is escaping me right now, but Miami Northwestern versus Columbus, that's what it was. Unfortunately, that game did not get played on Thursday night. But one of the games that did get played, I was at, Steven, and that is Miami Norland versus Chaminade Madonna, where the Nod boys defeated Norland 45-20. Big win for Chaminade. They're rolling, they're hot as always, and I think that this was a statement game for the Nod boys all around. Just defensive effort, offensive effort, really big win for Chaminade. Miami Central versus Heritage Plantation came down to a nail-biter. Central defeated Heritage 35-32. Obviously, Nashawn Montgomery got in that box for a touchdown. Have to go through the stats, but both teams, Central and Heritage, played very good football on Friday night. Really happy with how that game came out because that like I said last week, that game had national level implications. So I'm glad that it wasn't just a one-sided affair or it wasn't boring. Happy to see that it was a shootout. St. Thomas Aquinas versus MacArthur. St. Thomas Aquinas defeated MacArthur 56-0. St. Thomas coming out here with their Irish-inspired green jerseys. That was interesting. Saw that all on my social media, and I originally didn't know what the inspiration was on it, but after really breaking down the history of it, love the jerseys. They look great. St. Thomas wearing the green jerseys with their signature gold helmets. Looked a lot like Notre Dame football, Stephen. Do you think St. Thomas would have been able to beat Notre Dame the way that a certain NIU did a couple weeks ago? I think they could. St. Thomas is national level powerhouse. I would take St. Thomas Aquinas, Miami Central, Miami Norland, Chaminade Madonna, and Heritage Plantation from the South Florida high school scene over multiple G5 Division I colleges. You can decide what colleges those are. I'm not name dropping anybody, but especially the one in Key Biscayne. But for the FAU fans at home, Logan Husband had a great game. Didn't give up a sack once again. All around, great effort in the trenches by him. And Brandon Hoke got into that box for another touchdown. So big win for St. Thomas Aquinas. Booker T. Washington versus Lakeland. Lakeland defeated BT Dubs 48-13. Miami Edison versus Monsignor Pace. Edison defeated Pace 17-14. Monarch versus Fort Lauderdale. Big win for Monarch, 42-8 victory. Coconut Creek versus Cardinal Gibbons, a game that I thought could go either way. I think both teams have potential to be great this year. Gibbons defeated Creek 33-25. True North Classical versus Everglades Prep. True North defeated the Glades 42-3. Zach Katz had another big game back at True North after leaving Chaminade. And then finally, another game I do want to talk about is apparently Western versus Taravella was won via forfeit. So not really sure on the history / backstory of that game. All I know is that game did not get finished. I don't even know if it got kicked off. But yeah. And then once again, multiple games on Thursday night did get canceled due to weather. I believe the only game that was played and finished was Chaminade versus Norland. There was no way they were canceling that game, Steven. But It is 7:45 here on New Era Prep Nightly on the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. We are going to take a hi Robbie. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to talk all things Miami. So stay tuned, guys. We will be right back. And we're back. Welcome to the bottom half of the hour here on New Era Prep Nightly on the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. A little bit longer DJ Luker music break today. Had to refill the water. Red Solo Cup. Fill me up. Let's have a party, everybody. But we are back here on the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network for another Miami segment, Stephen. We're going to talk some Canes athletics. So Saturday afternoon, had the opportunity to go out to Tampa and cover the USF Miami game. First, want to preface absolutely great game. Loved being out there. Game day atmosphere at USF was awesome. I know I'm an FAU guy, and USF is like our bitter rivals, and it was honestly amazing today to see them lose all conference realignment hopes and dreams. But on all, it was a great atmosphere. A lot of it came from Coral Gables down from the Miami fan base. Miami fan base travels very well. But yeah, tailgates were cooking. The USF frats were going crazy. The just normal fans were going crazy. The Miami fans were going crazy. All in all, great experience. Before we really dive into things, I do want to shout out to the Canes fan base. Over the past couple of days, y'all have really accepted me into the fan base on social media after providing coverage of the game. Thank you for all the love and support that you guys showed over the past couple of days because it's been awesome. We had a bunch of things go viral, bunch of things go on ESPN. Everywhere I was turning on social media, I was seeing footage that I took. All in all, it was a great. It's been a pretty cool couple days, guys. But before the game, there was a lot of chatter in the student section, Steven. I was down on the field. I was wearing a Canes hat and I was getting booed. Hey, camera guy, expletive phrase from the student section. Lot of heckling towards me. Like, what did I do, Steven? Did they find my Twitter account? Because some people knew who I was. Um, but also before I even got to before I even got to oh hey, that's me. Before I even got to the facilities, within 10 minutes of me being in Tampa, as I'm pulling in, I saw a 4-car cop chase, like full on Grand Theft Auto activities. Great introduction to Tampa. Just wanted to throw that out there before I forgot because I found that absolutely hilarious. But like I said, frat bros were going a little crazy, yelling at me and stuff. When the Canes came out for warm ups and stuff, everybody was throwing down the U, this, that, and the other, and it was loud. It was one of the loudest college games I've been at, but great atmosphere, like I said. Unfortunately, actions speak louder than words. That's a parable I think everybody's grown up on. And Miami, they acted while USF talked. Cam Ward is the truth, guys. Cam Ward is winning the Heisman. This is not even it's not even a biased take or anything. After watching that guy play football up close and personal, he is easily the best quarterback in college football as far as his pocket presence, his awareness. He didn't get sacked. Miami's offensive line did a very good job of keeping him on the ground or on his feet. Excuse me, not on the ground. We don't want him on the ground. The Miami offensive line that keeps their quarterback on the ground is the Dolphins, but that's besides the point. Cam Ward showed off the arm, showed off the legs, showed off the reads, had 9 different receivers that caught a pass for Miami. Biggest performance from the guys was Isaiah Horton. Isaiah Horton's going to be the next great Miami receiver. Kid's a true sophomore, or kid's a sophomore. Saturday caught his first touchdown reception. Also went for 8 catches and 108 yards with that score. Should have had 2. I thought it was 2. They called it back. Said it was on the 1. But guys with multiple scores was Damian Martinez. Big rushing performance from Miami, who Martinez had over 50 yards and 3 touchdowns. True freshman Jordan Lyle came out here in garbage time, had over 100 yards, including a 91-yard touchdown rush, which became the longest rush from scrimmage in program history, breaking a record from 1955. I thought that was a cool stat to shout out, especially because Jordan Lyle's a St. Thomas Aquinas alumni. So obviously the Broward County connection and just being able to do that in front. I believe his family was out there. Being able to do that in front of your family was pretty awesome to see. Xavier Restrepo, big night for him. 6 catches, 99 yards, 1 touchdown. Restrepo is closing in on some Canes records. Let me pull up the numbers really quick. Um, Restrepo is closing in on Miami's all-time receptions record. It's currently held by Mike Hartley with 182 receptions. After Saturday's game, Restrepo is now at 151. Career yards, Santana Moss, 25 over 2,500, just under 2,550. Xavier Restrepo has officially eclipsed 2,000 reception yards, and he's now, let me do some mental math really quick, guys. He's now at almost 2,100 yards. So um, that alongside his single season reception record from last year at 85 catches, X is in some elite company, and we're gonna be seeing a graphic come out on New Era Prep and Bleacher Brothers social medias in the next couple of days. Shot by Mars cooking up a graphic. I'm just giving y'all a little bit of a preview, but there is a countdown to greatness count countdown graphic coming every week until X breaks those records on New Era Prep. We spoke with a little bit with X's parents about it, Miss Ashley Paget, especially. That's his mom, and she's ecstatic as always. Want to give a big shout out to Miss Paget and Mr. Restrepo because love working with you guys. You guys have been great people, and you've always shown love. And your kid is a baller, and he's an even better person. So I do want to just shout out you guys and your family really quickly. Like I said, trench work was dominated by Miami, both sides of the ball. Francis Mauigoa, especially offensive lineman, was keeping Cam's blind side clean the entire night. I don't know about you, but having a 6'7", 345-pound Samoan or Polynesian wide receiver, or not wide receiver, that would be a crazy receiver. 6'7" offensive lineman. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable in that pocket, and I would be totally playing like Cam Ward, as nonchalant and relaxed as possible. Big day from their offensive line. Funny story, got to talk with CC a little bit after the game. When he saw me, he dapped me up and bro hugged me and took me off of the ground with ease. So, Steven, I don't know if you've ever been hugged by an offensive lineman. That is a scary sight. Honestly, thought I was meeting Jesus. On the other side of the ball, front seven was dominating, even without Ruben Bain, who hasn't been playing since the Florida game. Another big day from Tyler Barron and Simeo Barrow. Really liked what I saw out of them. They were pressuring heavily. They were giving Byron Brown no time in the pocket, and because of it, Byron Brown was making some plays that were more favorable towards Miami. Lot of PBUs, a lot of miscues. Just being able to get into that backfield and disrupt the game early is big for the guys on the front seven. So seeing them be able to do that without Ruben Bain was awesome to see. In the secondary, OJ Federique is, as a true freshman, is one of the best corners in college football. I got a picture because I did a little bit of an ISO shot where I only shot him throughout the play. He jammed whatever USF receiver, and I have a picture of him throwing said receiver to the ground. Not a PI or anything. It was within the 5-yard max. But OJ Federique is a dog, only got targeted once or twice. Believe both plays resulted in PBUs. Don't believe he allowed a catch. Big day from OJ Federique. And then the other guys in the secondary, especially Mish Powell, had a nice day. He had a pick, and then danced on USF's grave a little. I'm gonna be honest, Steven, if you want to go on to the New Era Prep Twitter, we got a nice little video of Mish dancing. I do want to pull that up because I had fun with that. Being able that's what the clip of me on your guys blessing your TVs. That's what I was filming, is them dancing. It was cool split second moment. Really just right place, right time for the boy. Like I said, 9 different receivers contributed, and Miami contained the USF rushing attack very well. Like, Byron Brown, when I said it last week, when Byron Brown gets hot, he gets confident. And when he plays with confidence, he runs all over you and is really just picking you apart. He was not doing that against Miami. He had 250 yards, yes, but Brown was neutralized the entirety of the night. Oh, there it is. Yep. Play that. Do that little dancey dance. Yeah. Out of the niche. Um, Yep, that was fun being able to get that. Like I said, oh yep, there's Quinn, Sebastian getting the Campbell Selly. Do want to apologize to Owsley from FAU. Posted up a couple pictures on my personal account, one of which was with Sebastian, and Owsley got a little jealous. So Owsley, you're still my favorite mascot. I love you. Please don't jump me at the next FAU home game. But like I said, Byron Brown was neutralized. 250 yards in the air, which is a lot more than I thought he had. But his ground game, which is where he excels, was contained to less than 30 yards. Naquan Wright, their star running back, was contained for less than 10 yards. So if that doesn't tell you what Miami was doing defensively, I don't know what was. Unfortunately for Miami in the first half, this game was way too close. I'm going to be honest. One of those reasons was a little bit of tomfoolery, trickery on USF's part. Did a little flea flicker Philly special type action. Byron Brown receiving touchdown from Sean Atkins. When I was watching that play live, multiple expletives were said because oldest trick in the book since Philly did that in the Super Bowl. USF was clearly just trying to steal possessions and catch Miami on their toes, and they then followed it up with an onside kick, which thankfully for Miami was recovered or was recovered by USF, but there was an offside or something on the kick, therefore it was now Miami ball. Where we go? There we go. Like I said, USF pass rush was pretty much non-existent. Miami outclassed them in the trenches and outsized them in the trenches. I do want to give a shout out to Byron Brown, though. Byron Brown is a baller. I love watching that kid play football. Y'all got to remember, he is only 19 years old. He's going to be special. He's going to be an elite college quarterback for years. So really excited to see what his future is. Looking forward to watching him play in Boca. Alex Golesh is one of the better coaches in college football since he came over from Tennessee, and Josh Hupple's staff being able to come to USF and turn a struggling program around in just a year. Cool to see. Coach Golesh, great guy. Love talking to him and interviewing him. So do want to give a shout out to the guys at USF. This part's going to get clipped and put all over USF Twitter. I already know, but speaking more into the Miami Athletic Department, do want to give a couple updates on what's to come in Kane, or what happened and what's to come in Canes Athletics for the upcoming week. This afternoon, about 30 minutes before show went on air, it was announced by the ACC the opening slate of men's basketball conference opening weekend games. Miami will be hosting the Clemson Tigers at the Wasco Center on December 7th. Tip-off is at noon. Nationally televised game on ESPN2. Miami is currently 9-4-11 in conference opener, 6-6 at home, and 2-1 against Clemson with a beatdown last time in 2021 to the 22 season. So the year before their Final Four run and FAU's Final Four run, Miami was belting Clemson in the first game of conference play. So just wanted to give a little bit of a men's basketball shout out. Miami will also be the remainder of Miami's conference schedule will be announced tomorrow night at 8 p.m., just around now on the ACC network. Like I said, conference schedule announced at 8 p.m. on the ACC network. Volleyball made the coaches poll top 25 at the number 25 spot, being the fifth ACC team to make the standings. This weekend they swept in the 305 Challenge. They swept Arkansas and Texas Tech 3-0 sets and defeated FIU 3-1. Ending non-con schedule, they are now 9-2. They will open. Excuse me, guys. They will open ACC. I wanted to say SEC like 3 different times in that brief little sentence. They will begin ACC play this week versus FSU. They will be playing the Seminoles both in Tally and Coral Gables throughout this week, so stay tuned for that. Swim and dive, women's swimming will open their season on Wednesday afternoon versus FIU, and women's soccer is now 3-3-2 on the year, going tying on Thursday night, tying SMU 3-3. The Lady Canes will travel to Stanford next Thursday for a matchup against the Nerds, the Cards. Shout out my boy Josh. Hope you're at the game. Kid I grew up with, former swim teammate of mine, is now swimming at Stanford. Want to give a shout out to him. Before we end the episode here, a little bit of a quicker episode. Like I said, I'm still with family. Wanted to take as much time to spend with them. But we're winding down here on New Era Prep on the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. For those that are just tuning in, first part of the show, as always, is the high school football recap of the weekend. Palm Beach County, Treasure Coast area, 305, Broward and Dade County. Then we talked even more 305 with the good people at the University of Miami. But do want to thank everybody once again for tuning in to another episode here. Steven, thank you again for producing, my friend. Everybody, thank you for giving me the opportunity to have this platform. I will see you all on Wednesday night here at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope everybody has a great night. Enjoy some Monday Night Football, guys. Right now, Buffalo is up 13-0 on Jacksonville. For New Era Prep and Bleacher Brothers, I'm Christian Proscia. Have a great night.
Prop 33 will